Welcome. I'd like to start off with a little bit of Earth, Wind, and Fire. One, because it throws people off. But the lyrics are so appropriate for what we're going to talk about for the next hour. So it's about what you can truly be. So we're going to talk over the next hour about what your business can truly be. Topic, changing your mindset to promote growth. My presentation is very interactive. Feel free to hashtag the trade 2017. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at G3 Leadership. Feel free to, as you see going through my presentation, you'll see hashtags throughout, so feel free to take pictures and post them. I have no problem with sharing that content. A little bit about myself that Mark didn't talk about. I'm a father of 3 boys. I want you guys to get to know who I am so that you can trust what I'm saying. I've got a 5-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 13-year-old. Before the 5-year-old, I had a lot of hair, and now I don't. I was director of sales and retail development for a company called Giant Bicycle for a long time. I've certified sales executive, certified Gallup strengths coach, and a certified peak performance mindset trainer. That's what we're going to talk about today. Before I get into it, if you want to leave your business card on your table, I'll collect them at the end. I'm going to give away at the end of the event this week 2 one-hour sessions with myself to talk about your business or talk about your personal goals. And today we're going to talk about mindset. Mindset to promote growth. And how do you get into a growth mindset? So with direct-to-consumer sales, online sales, Amazon, all the things that you guys are up against day in and day out, we have to start getting into a growth mindset. We have to get rid of the negativity that's been adding up year over year over year. Today we're going to talk about transforming your limiting beliefs into liberating beliefs. I want you to leave here with a few nuggets throughout the presentation that you can take home and put into your business, put into your personal life, and start creating something bigger and better. Before I get started, I need a volunteer. Anyone? The lights are bright, I can't see. Anyone? We have one hand. I've never seen that in all my presentations. Here's the first one up. Come on up, sir. Give him a round of applause. We had 2 people raise their hand. We're going to make a very important point with this. Sir, what's your name? Jim. Jim? Ewalt. And where are you from?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, Omaha, Nebraska. I'm a University of Nebraska graduate.
Go Hawks!
Huskers. Hawks, you threw me off. Anyway, come on up. And you're from?
Peak Performance.
Peak Performance in Omaha, Nebraska. Let's give Jim a round of applause. I'm going to hand Jim $20. I'm going to ask Jim to go sit down. That's all I needed him for. Easiest $20 you ever made, right? No, donate it. It's Giving Tuesday. Okay, the point being, 2 people raised their hand. There is a direct correlation between people who raise their hand and want to come up and people that have a growth mindset. So what I'm seeing is that this room is not necessarily into a growth mindset. You're into what we call a fixed mindset, and we'll get into what the differences are moving forward. But someone willing to risk raising their hand, come up on stage, not knowing what they're doing, and growing their business and taking the risk that they need to step away from the fray that all of you are encountering day in and day out. So the presentation is about changing your mindset of the entire industry. So how do we do that? It starts with each one of you individually. If I can get each one of you to leave with 1, 2, 3 things today, collectively, we'll change the entire industry. Do you know 80% of your success comes from your psychological skills? 80%. Tony Robbins did a presentation a couple weeks ago for Inc. magazine at Iconic Conference in LA. What he talked about was the 20-80 rule, right? Most of us know the 80-20 rule, where 80% of our business comes from 20% of our customers. He's talking about 20% of our success comes from skill, the other 80% comes from the psychological or the mindset. And what's important about that is being able to push yourself beyond what you thought is possible, right? We're all up against market dynamics that we've never seen before. Your industry has changed more in the last 3 years, the last 5 years, than it ever has in the previous 20. Stress is fear, right? What we stress about, we become afraid of. The guy down the street's putting on a sale, a 40% sale. Foot Locker's competing on price. My competitor just hired my best employee away. Those are things you can control, but you have to get ahead of them. This one I love, falling in love with customers and not the product. We talked a little bit about this last year in my retail training. You have to love your customers. I've seen crap product sell like wildfire because the person selling it was a good salesperson and people liked them or her. And I've seen great product not sell at all because the store that represents that product or the brand that represents or the group that represents that product is not good. Focusing on future growth. As I just mentioned, looking back 3 or 5 years ago, you cannot predict the next 3 to 5 years based on what you did the last 3 to 5 years. So moving forward, you have to look forward on everything you do. You can't even look a year ago and predict what's going to happen next year. So what inhibits our performance? Too many thoughts. The National Science Foundation says that we have 60,000 thoughts per day. 60,000. Here's the kicker. 80% of those are negative. That's 48,000 negative thoughts per day on average. 48,000. Imagine if we can change that 10%. That's 4,800 positive thoughts per day. Multiply that over a week, over 12 months, and this time next year, if we can change your mindset to get 10% of your positive thoughts, or 10% more positive thoughts over negative thoughts, you are going to see a huge difference in both you personally and in your business. Negative thoughts and feelings are the biggest barrier to productivity. We can talk positive thinking, and we will all we can, but without action and an action plan, we can't change. So with 60,000 thoughts, how do you know which one thought to focus on? Inherently, we always tend to focus on the biggest problem, right? We need to change that. We need to start focusing on the biggest opportunity. So, as the slide says, to flourish both physically and emotionally, you need to achieve a ratio of a positive to negative emotion that's no less than 3 to 1. That seems like a lot, right, when you start thinking about it. Next time you criticize your employee, think about what you have to do now to overcome that negative criticism of that employee. You have to now give 3 positive comments to overcome the 1 negative, because that 1 negative is stuck in that mind, right? That 1 negative comment will stick in your employee's mind. Sean Anker wrote a book called Before Happiness, New York Times bestseller. He's got 13 million views on his TED Talk. And he talks about happy mindset. And people with a happy mindset are 23% more energetic. We all know these people, right? We all want to be a part and be around the happy people, right? This is why, because they're 23% more energetic. They're 31% more productive. You're running your business with negative people and negative energy business, you're not raising your hand to come up on stage because you're breeding the negativity in your business. Another reason to hire happy people, 300% more creative. This is all backed by science. As a sales trainer, this makes me the most happy, right? Happy people sell 38% more. Dale Carnegie says people buy from people they like. We like happy people, right? They sell 38% more. So if you're not measuring the energy and the happiness in your business, you could be going down the path of negativity and fixed mindset. We all get negative self-talk. So what happens when that creeps in? So I work with Olympic athletes, and you think, wow, they're Olympic athletes. There's no negativity going on. But they call me to get them over that hump because they're worried about lining up to the guy next to them. Wow, that guy is fast. What happens if he gets out of the gate faster than me? On the executive level, I can't get this promotion. I didn't make this sale. We can't grow. We don't want to compete with the guy down the street. We don't want to compete with the Foot Locker who's competing on discount. You have to change that conversation to a positive talk. So, an interesting study, I'm working with a set of twins. They're athletes. I'm actually working with one of the twins. Came to me, we talked about negativity and getting rid of the can'ts, don'ts, won'ts, and changing them to I can, we will, I do. First week, we talked about it. He went home, met him the second week. He came back. He's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea how much negativity my brother has, my twin brother. So I started telling him every time he said, I can't make this jump, or I can't do this turn. I started telling him to change to I can. So by week 3, he came to me. He's like, my household, I started getting my dad and mom involved in this, and now we're talking positively. And it's amazing. This is an 18-year-old kid telling me this. It's amazing what has happened in my household when we started taking away the contractions and started using positive talk. Dr. Carol Dweck, Mindset Science. The only thing that separates people who succeed from those who don't is whether or not they have a growth mindset. So I've been talking about this on and on. Let's get into it. So individuals who believe their talents can be developed, right? Through hard work, good strategies, and most importantly, input from others. You have to listen to other people. They tend to achieve more than those with a fixed mindset. At G3, the company I run, we work with our clients, and we're constantly preaching growth breeds innovation. When you're in a growth mindset, and things start happening because there's positive energy in your business, and your employees are engaged because there's positive energy in your business, then you're succeeding into your sales goals, and then you have more money, right? It starts snowball effect. When you have more money to invest in, you're innovating, and now you're outpacing your competition. So getting into that growth mindset and understanding the growth mindset and getting into the positive talk in your business helps breed innovation. How many of you here feel like you're going to have your best year ever in 2018? About half of you, right? So does that mean the rest of you feel like you're going to have your worst year? Think about it. A couple issues ago, I wrote a 3-question assessment for Running Insight. Hopefully you had the opportunity to take advantage of it, kind of a precursor to this conversation. If you don't, if you want to leave your card, we have a 10-question assessment. I can email it out to you. I'll grade it and we'll send it back to you just so you can understand where you are either personally or in your business, whether you're in a growth or a fixed mindset. Fixed mindset businesses or fixed mindset individuals avoid challenges. They give up easily. They don't put in the work to succeed. They ignore feedback. And they feel threatened by the success of others. I hear it all the time. Amazon's putting retail out of business. That feedback, that comment on social media from that client, we don't have to listen to that. They don't know what they're talking about. The employee left and went to your competitor because it wasn't engaged, because you had low energy and there's a lot of negativity in your store. You went to your competitor, had more energy and more positivity. Think about that. Make sure that you're not any of these. You can't afford to be. Right? The market is changing so fast and so rapidly that you're going to get swallowed up if you don't start thinking more positive and more into a growth mindset. So people and businesses that are in a growth mindset, they're open to learning. They embrace the challenge. They see effort as a way to success. They learn from the criticism. Wow, my top employee just left to go to my competitor. Why? Why did they leave? If you're not doing an exit interview on your employees, you're doing yourself a disservice. You have to learn. You have to learn from your customers. You have to learn from your employees. They persist in the face of adversity. Right? We're in an adverse situation in the industry right now. We have to succeed. We have to get into this growth mindset, because I don't believe any of you would have spent the money to come to the event if you didn't think there was hope and there was a way out and a way to succeed in the industry, right? Find lessons in the success of others. If you do nothing else over the next 3 days, look for the successful retailers, look for the successful brands, and listen. Don't hear them, listen to them. What are they talking about? What are they saying? Why is there energy behind their store? Why is there energy behind their brand? You have to listen to what they're saying, because you need to take whatever it is that's been making them successful and try to implement that into your business. How many of you track your runs and know your data on Strava, Map My Run, or any other running app? Pretty fair amount. How many of you track your business KPIs as well as you track your running fitness? Smaller amount, right? What's keeping you in business? Your business KPIs or your Strava data? How many of you have goals in writing? Usually the average is about half of the room. I'm seeing about 20% of the room. You are completely doing yourself a disservice. You can't get yourself into a growth mindset. You can't take the steps from A to Z on growth if you don't know the pathway to get there. People that put their goals in writing have a 97% chance, better chance of achieving than those that don't. 97%. I don't know anything that has the certainty of 97%. Goals are the pathway to your destination. If you don't know how you're taking your business from 500,000 to 750,000, or 100 million to 150 million, if you don't know how to close that gap between where you are and where you want to be with goals and objectives, you're never going to get there. You can't just open your door. You can't show up, open your door, and hope customers come in. You need to have goals. You need to have plans. Goals that don't evolve become a destination. A lot of times people call us a G3 and say, 3 years ago we had goals and we achieved. We kicked ass. But we don't seem to be going anywhere since. First question is, after that first year of success, did you continue evolving your goals? Well, no, because what we did 3 years ago got us to that 20%, 30%, 40% growth, but we didn't change because we thought we're on a great growth curve. Don't be victim of that, right? That's a perfect example of how your goals become your destination if they don't evolve. Talk about 4 steps for goal achievement. Visualize. Write them down. Reflection, and define purpose. So we'll go through each one of those. First one is visualization. You're never stronger than when you have success clearly in mind. If you can't visualize, I work with my athletes on, hey, they come to me, I want to win the next race. Okay, the questions go down this path. What does it feel like when you win the race? What does it smell like? When you cross the finish line, you raise your hand in victory. Who are you hugging? Is it your spouse? Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Your brother? Your partner? Whatever it is, who is it? What does that feel like? What does that smell like? What does that sound like? Visualize that. And the same goes for your business. When we work with our business partners, we want to know what success looks like to you. I want you to be able to close your eyes and understand clearly in your mind what success looks like. Because if you can't visualize success for your business or for yourself personally, how are you ever going to motivate anybody else to help you along that path? Wall of Dreams or a vision board is a great way to start. So I talked about the 18-year-old twins that I work with. Very first week, I asked them to do a vision board. This is what an 18-year-old comes back with. Happiness, win, success. Thank God he wants to go to college. Stress-free. It's pretty insightful for an 18-year-old kid. But he clearly has his vision in mind. I did a Rocky Mountain Retail Camp presentation last year at Pearl Izumi, and I walked by the vision board, or vision statement that they have in their office. If you don't have a vision statement, if you're not letting your employees know where you want to go, I don't care if your store's a $200,000 retail store, or if you're a $200 million brand, you need to have a vision statement. People are motivated by, people want to be led. They're motivated by wanting to know where they're going with their life, right? We spend more time at work than we do any other place in a day. So we want to know what we're doing. We want to know where we're going. Write down your goals. I told you 97% better chance of achieving your goals. So how does that say 80%? So if you're lucky enough to write down your goals, you have an 80% chance of achieving those goals once they are written. So what I want you to do, hopefully you have some pen and paper, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to think about 3 things, 3 goals. 1, what do you want to achieve between now and Friday at the running event? 2, what do you want to achieve between now and the end of the year? You have 34 days left to achieve something in 2017. 34 days, that's a long time. Doesn't seem like a long time, but it is. And then 1 goal, what is the main goal? What do you want to achieve in 2018? So if you think about it for the next minute or so, I'm going to take a drink of my water, and if you notice, I'm from Florida, so we seem to have issues with our caps, so I left the cap off. It's a little political joke. I'm not going to ask anybody to come up and give their goals, but I want you on the path of writing them down because I want you to be successful. This conference, The people sitting around you exist based on the success of everybody in this room. Reflection, in the business sense, we call them after-action reports. Learning without reflection is a waste. Reflection without learning is dangerous. That's what Confucius wrote. If you don't know, in the business sense, we work with companies, stores, we always require after-action reports at the end of the month. I want to know what was successful and why. I also want to know what wasn't successful and why it wasn't successful. When you start cataloging this month after month after month, and then you're working on your 2018 plans, and you can look back to January 2017, you can see exactly what was successful in January of 2017 and what wasn't and why. That's the learning aspect. That's what propels you forward, so you don't make the same mistakes twice. Purpose. Sorry, I jumped ahead there. But purpose, if the millennial generation is looking for a purpose in their business. If you go on Twitter today, right, hashtag Giving Tuesday, that's all about purpose. The millennials want to know that who they're employed by, who they're spending most of their time with, has a purpose. And the millennial generation is the largest consumer generation in history, and we're in it right now. So if you don't have purpose in your business, you're not doing something for a reason, you're going to get left behind. There has to be purpose in your business. A couple ways to define the purpose in your business. Who do I want to be? Who do you want your business to be? Right? We talked about visualizing what it looks like to be successful, to hit your goals. What does the store look like? What do the employees look like? What do my customers look like that are driving the growth in my business? If you don't have that visualized, if you don't have that as part of your purpose, you're going to get left behind. Because the companies that do are leaving the old regime behind. Again, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be in 6 months? Where do I want my business to be in 1 year, 3 years? You have to have that visualization. You have to have that plan. You have to have the purpose. Because you have to connect the dots from where you are today to where you want to go. And these are all connecting the dots to do that. Visualizing your best self. I hope that nobody closes their eyes and visualizes mediocrity. So when you close your eyes, visualize your best self. Visualize yourself PRing on Strava. Better yet, visualize your business PRing their sales goals over the next 12 months. Right? Because if you're hitting your sales goals that you're now going to leave and write out, right? Then you have money to invest in your employees. Then your employees become engaged. And those engaged employees make happy customers. And those happy customers bring more business. You see, these are all stepping stones to the growth of your business. And finally, what do you want your legacy to be? You know, I work in the outdoor cycling and run industry quite a bit. And there's a lot of legacy retailers out there, right? People have been in business 10, 15, 20, 25 years. And these retailers are scared, right? How do they compete with what's going on in the marketplace? You know, and one of the first questions I ask is, what do you want your legacy to be? Do you want to be the guy that got put out of business by Foot Locker or Amazon? Or do you want to be the guy that's growing their business because you're giving back to your community, you're getting more kids into running, you're creating a healthier culture in your community? Those are the things that start defining purpose, right? And millennials want purpose. They want to shop with someone that has purpose. So when you start defining that, these things start to fall into place. When those things fall into place, all this other stuff happens, right? Business is up, employees are happy. Get into that growth mindset. For me, for my company, G3 Development Group, our purpose is planting seeds of emergence. Very simple. Our goal every time we have a client interaction is to leave a seed of emergence. And I tell my clients up front, what we talk about today, you may not see the relevance of, but for us, we feel confident that what we're telling you today will come to emergence in 1, 3, or 5 years. The best compliments that we get based on our purpose statement is when somebody comes back and goes, I didn't really get what you were saying when we met a year ago, but now I see it. Now I see the big picture. So have that purpose, because that starts to drive all your decision making, and it starts to attract the right employees to help you get to your end goal. Follow your heart. Right? We all get into the running business. I have a cycling business background. I got into cycling business because I love riding bikes. You guys love running. Like, that's not a problem. We're following our passion. But that's a double-edged sword, right? How many of us live and breathe running, and then when it comes time to go for a run or go to an event, you're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be bothered. You have to balance that out. But you're halfway there because you're following your passion. When we talk about purpose, we talk about the bigger the why, the bigger the try. In athletics, I ask my clients, why? Why do you want to win? 99% of the time, it's not for the athlete themselves. It's for somebody that sacrificed their time, their parents, their wife. I want to win for my dad who drove me to practice every night for the last 8 years. I want to put on that Olympic medal for dad or mom because they sacrificed for me. In business, why? Why do you want to open your doors every day? If it's profit motivated, hey, that attracts some people. Great. I need you to be profit motivated. If you're not profit motivated, you're not going to be here. It's okay to be profit motivated, but I'm here to tell you that's not in and of itself going to attract the right people, right? As the millennial generation gets bigger and bigger and they spend more money in what you guys do, they want to see purpose in the business outside of profit purpose. But when you make a commitment in mind, you lose it in the moment you encounter resistance. All right? I can make up my mind as a retailer that I'm going to compete against Joe down the street. But then I realize, oh my gosh, Joe just put everything on sale for 40% for Black Friday, and I'm only at 20%. Oh no. What am I going to do? That jerk? I can't compete with that. That throws you off your commitment, right? But when you have the purpose and make it with heart, that's fine if Joe wants to compete on price. If he wants to put everything on sale for 40%, and I'm only at 20%. But with that extra money that I'm making, I'm going to give back to X, Y, and Z in my community. I'm going to make a difference in my community. Those are that's what's going to keep you in business moving forward. So what does a peak performance mindset look like? We're going to talk about how do you activate the daily peak performance mindset in 5 steps. And we're going to turn up the volume a little bit here. Smile. Every morning if you wake up at 6 o'clock, whatever ungodly time you wake up in the morning, when you sit up out of bed, smile. It changes the physiology. Smiling every morning for 21 days straight when you get out of bed, science shows will give you 29% more energy. It changes your physiology. There's a study, and I don't want to go too far into it, but there was a depressed girl, and her doctor told her, every morning you wake up for the next 3 weeks, smile. She took it one step further. She started putting smiley faces on the mirror with her lipstick every single morning. After 3 months, she did it 3 weeks, but after 3 months, she was no longer considered depressed. So the simple act of smiling will change your physiology and will change your mindset. Oh, and better yet, part of my retail training last year was talking about smiling when you saw customers come in the store. How many of us want to walk into a store with a grouchy service staff? Right? Smile, greet the customers. It's so important to your business. Meditation and mindfulness is such a huge trending topic right now because it works. It helps with the mindset. You guys are runners. I'm a cyclist. For me, my mindfulness through my craft, I'm a BMX racer, so I race 20-second, 30-second races. But for me, if I go out on a 20 or 30 or 40-mile bike ride on my road bike, that's my mindfulness training. It gets the blood flowing, gets my mind off of having to do what I do day in and day out. Whatever it is, find a hobby outside of running or outside of retail. If running long distance, whatever it is, find some way to get mindfulness through your craft. Talked about the positivity. I can't stress enough. If you take one thing away from today, change the I can't to I can. As you go through the next 3 days or when you get back to your business and your employees start using the contractions, correct them. Between now and the end of the year, I guarantee you if you start correcting and start telling people to say, I can, I will, I do, you will see a profound change in your business. Celebrate successes. Again, we talked about the 3-to-1 positive to negative ratio, right? For every negative comment or every negative outcome, you need to overcome that with 3 positives. So celebrate the successes. Smile. We didn't hit our sales goal, but we hit our margin goal. Right on. Celebrate each of the successes. It doesn't have to be business related. Wow, Tara came in. I noticed on Strava she got a PR today. Let's celebrate that. Oh, this customer walked in. She just lost 20 pounds since she got those new running shoes. Let's celebrate that customer. You'll be amazed when you start to celebrate the successes of others in your business and in your personal life, how that will change everything around you. Physiology. The Wonder Woman pose. Before any run, before any stressful situation, test, presentation. Before you open your doors in the morning, I get yelled at from the guys because I show the Wonder Woman pose. The Superman pose is the exact same as the Wonder Woman pose. But if you do this for 2 minutes, for 21 days straight, you will change your mindset drastically. I have my athletes, before they get into competition, do the Superman pose. You know, head up, shoulders back, hands on your waist, for 2 minutes. Almost every single time they come back and say, I don't know what it is, but it worked. This is my Wonder Woman, my wife. She had the biggest presentation of her life for her business 2 months ago. She always hears me talk about all this stuff. She was stressed out. I was like, get in the Wonder Woman pose for 2 minutes. And she kind of giggled. She's like, I'm always hearing you talk about that stuff. So I took a picture of her. She went through a presentation. She came back and she goes, I'm bought in. I'm not sure how I got bought in, but I gave the best presentation of my life. Because right before it, I had nothing to lose, so I listened to you. You don't have to listen to me. You can go on YouTube. You can go look up the Wonder Woman pose. You can see all the research behind how it works. Energy. Managing your energy. Managing your energy, your personal energy, managing your energy in your business. So what we do at G3 is when we get called by retailers, we do a retailer assessment, a 78-point checklist of your business. First thing we look for is energy. Energy in your business, energy in your employees, energy in your customers, energy in your social media. We want to know that, because when there's energy, you're attracting people. When there's negative energy, you're pushing people away. So we're always measuring energy. Managing energy through music or video. One of our retail best practices is every customer thought I had my phone on me. It's the first time I haven't had a phone on me in a long time. But every customer walking into your store has a phone, right? They have a billboard. They have a movie player. They have music in their hand when they're walking in your store. If your store doesn't have video or doesn't have music playing in it, you don't have the right energy level in your business. If this is the energy of your store, you guys, I hear some laughs. I can walk into stores all over the country, and I have, and I do, and this is the energy level I get. How many of you are in the spa business? No one, right? This is spa music. The only thing worse than this is this. You don't know how many businesses I walk into that there's nothing playing, no video, no music. The owner's standing there, not in his Superman pose, sorry. Somebody's hanging on, there's no podium, hanging on the counter. Hey, how's it going? Oh man, I'm tired today, man. I PR'd this morning, my legs are killing me. Is that a buying sign? Do you want to give that person your money? As a consumer, you're walking right out. Shh, sorry, I almost cursed. I'm trying to get through this whole presentation without cursing, but I'm so passionate about it. That's why they go to Amazon. If the consumer is taking the time to drive to your retail location, to walk into no energy, or the guy slouched over, or the girl slouched over on the counter, not engaging them with a smile, man, they're just pulling out their phone, probably from within your store, and buying it direct. Let's turn it up a little bit. This is what I want to hear in every single store. This is what I want to hear in everybody's business. It's music. Turn that music up. Turn that music up.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. Okay. All right.
3:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
We all need our caffeine. We're going to do it through music.
Return to the
energy, right?
What it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking in the
Listen to the words.
First shot,
Motivating. He's in a
a little
growth
bit of humble,
mindset.
a little bit of cautious, somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Bad moonwalking in this here.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music. I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT shit hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back crushing. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country.
Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us.
Victory pose. That's
Like
what
the
you guys
ceiling
want to hear.
can't hold us. Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the
I
night.
want to hear the
We'll
energy
fight till
when I
it's
walk into
over, so we put our hands
I
up
want to
like
hear
the
the energy
ceiling can't
from you,
hold us.
from your voice, from your store, from your brand. Right? We need energy.
Yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised.
Mindset.
Can't stop me. Go
Setting
hard, I gotta hit it
goals.
within my
Going
heartbeat.
against
And I'm
the
hitting the
industry,
beat like you give a little
right?
speed to a great
The
white truck on
industries,
truck. We raw. Gonna go
the
live, girl.
Napsters back in the day, iTunes, the on-demand music. It's the same stuff that you guys are going through with direct-to-consumer sales, online sales. It's the same stuff. You listen to him, he wanted to be, I don't want to spell it out, but he wants to be an independent record label, which he did, right? He had that vision. That's what he's rapping about. This is the song that took him to the next level. I need one more volunteer. Wow, what a big difference. I love it. I want someone that thinks they're the strongest person in the room. How many of you want to see Jim come up here? Oh, this guy wants to come up here. You want to come up here? He was already on his way. I'm going to give him the opportunity to come up here. Are you going to be able to handle this? All right. What's your name?
Luke.
Luke from?
Lakeland, Florida.
I'm from Orlando, Florida, so fellow Floridian. And Lucas, that's my son's name, so we have a lot in common. Okay, Lucas, you're pumped up. You just listened to some Macklemore. Talked about mindset. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Left.
Left arm up. Here, come over here so that the crowd can see the effects of someone's energy level on your business. Left arm. Out to the side. Let's do this because you're not facing the camera. All right. Push against me. Give me as much resistance as possible. I can't push your arm down, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to change Luke's energy level right here. How's business?
Excellent.
Excellent?
Yeah.
Why is it going to be excellent next year? I don't think you can be excellent next year. There's a lot of market conditions fighting against you.
Got a great owner, a great staff, great crew.
It doesn't
We
matter.
all believe.
I can pull out my phone and buy whatever I want on Amazon.
We're constantly innovating, trying to change.
Okay. I'm going to change your energy right now, all right? Look me in the eye. I'm changing your energy. You don't even know it, right? I'm going to make it so hard for you to succeed in the next 30 seconds, you're not going to know what to do. On top of that, I'm going to give you some negative ions. Some voodoo stuff. Give me that left arm up. Oh. Did you see? Push it. Come on. Come on.
That's it.
I changed his mindset from a positive to a negative. I took away, in 3 simple swipes, his positive energy. When you walk into your store or in your business or in your next sales call, if you're a salesperson, with that negative energy, look what it's doing to the people around you. It's killing the positivity. It's killing you from taking the next step into a growth mindset. Should we give Luke some positive energy? Get him back on track? All right. Hey, and by the way, he answered every question. He was almost throwing me off because he was giving me the answers I want to hear, but I didn't want to hear for the exercise, but I was still able to change his energy from positive to negative. So over the next 3 days, Luke, you're at Fit Niche in Lakeland, Florida. Look for this guy. Look for that business and have a conversation because he's answering the way I want every single person in this room to answer about how they're growing and why they're growing and why they're in a, would you consider yourself and your business into a growth mindset?
Yes.
Absolutely, right? That's the difference. So let's give him some positive energy back. I need a big round of applause for Lucas. We're going to give him some positive energy. We're going to set him up for success for the next 3 days. Left arm out. Push, push, push. I can't do it. Lucas, thank you. I appreciate it. So that's how powerful your negative energy is, whether it's your family or your business, right? You have to be positive. You have to be positive. Remember, when you get into these negative situations, change your mindset. Change how you're having these conversations. This is my friend Patty. She works out of my gym. That's 225 pounds on her back. We were doing back squats that day. I look over and Patty's all pumped up. She wanted to go for a PR, 225. She got it off the rack and fell flat on her back. Weights go rolling across the gym. Thought she broke her back. She's pretty strong. She got back up, and she was kind of pissed because she didn't PR. Like, she had her mindset on PRing that 225 that day. She kind of knew what I did, and she's like, I need your help. So I did the energy exercise with her, and I gave her some positive affirmation. I told her, visualize yourself pushing it up. What does it feel like? What does it sound like? How pumped are you going to be when you do it? And I gave her some positive ions. 90 seconds worth of conversation. This is Patty pushing it up 3 times. When I tell you she fell flat on her back the first time, I'm not kidding. Thought we were going to have to call the ambulance. She has this huge following on social media. And I love what she says in her social media post. She's Portuguese, so she can't even really speak good English. Focus is everything. Mind over matter. These are the positive conversations we need to have. These are the positive conversations that you need to have with your employees, in your business. Create that positive emotion in your business. I just showed you in a 45-second demonstration what negativity in your business, what negativity in your personal life can do to your physiology. So review mindset, smile. Wake up every morning and smile. Try it for the next 21 days. Write your goal, 3 goals and why. Hopefully you started off. I didn't give you much time today because I know we're time crunched. But if you do nothing tonight, please write down your goals. Again, 1, what do you want to accomplish at the event between now and Friday? What do you want to accomplish in the 34 days you have left for the end of this year? And most importantly, what do you want to accomplish in 2018? And when? And what does that look like when you do? Create that vision board, the wall of dreams. Positive self-talk, right? I just gave Luke, some positive self-talk after I gave him the negative talk. Changed his mindset. Change your physiology. I promise you, 2 minutes of this works. I promise you. Stay away from negative people, right? That negativity emanates. Your consumers, your customers walk in, they see that negative energy, they feel that negative energy. They're not going near your employee. How many of us avoid the crotchety person when we go shopping? Be and create the energy, right? If you can create the positive energy, you open yourself up, right? Opening yourself up invites people in. Invite the people around you in. Invite your customers into your business through energy. And finally, this is my favorite thing. We talked about physiology. I want everybody to stand up. And give me a victory pose. We're going to go into 2018 with a victory pose. I love it. I love it. This is what I want to see. Little tidbit of information, if you didn't know, most of you might know because you're runners. It is an innate ability of a human being, when they succeed, when they cross that finish line, to throw their arms up in victory. When the blind runners finish and come across the finish line, they've never seen it before. It's the most amazing thing. They give the victory salute and get into victory pose. Why? Because your body celebrates the small successes, right? By putting itself into the victory pose. So next year when I see you guys, hopefully you'll take 1 or 2 or 3 of these small nuggets, and you're gonna see me next year, and you're gonna be like, we did it. Thank you, we wrote our goals down. We changed our mindset, we changed the I can't to I can, I don't to I do, I won't to I will. And we've seen the success. Thank you, my name is Greg Frederick. You can follow me, G3 Leadership. Feel free to write, that's my cell number. My wife's gonna kill me. But feel free, if you're in the victory pose and you wanna send me a text, or if you change something from negative to positive, feel free to text it to me. Follow me on LinkedIn at Greg Frederick or G3 Development Group. All my socials the same. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Greg.